Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing what I'm going to call my part 1 of July wrap-up, just because I have read not a substantial amount. Well, I guess it's substantial in some aspects, but I've read a fair amount of books this month, and I have a pile here of about 7 books that I've already read, and then I've got some rereads that I read, and I want to talk about the rereads in another video just because I want to explain to you why I'm doing the rereads. So I'm just going to talk to you about the 7 books that I've read in the beginning of this month, and let's dive into this. These are in order of least to most enjoyed, and we shall go. So the one that I enjoyed the least was Pachinko, which was kind of a surprise to me. This is by Min Jin Lee. I went into this with higher expectations because it was blurbed and raved about by Roxane Gay, and I really trust Roxane Gay. However, for me, this book just didn't mesh. I just felt as if I had to spend most of the book looking up historical facts about Korea and Japan, and that was just completely taking me out of the story. There were a couple of scenes in here that was sexual that really took me out of the story. I just never fully engrossed myself within the story, and I felt really disconnect, and I liked the characters, I felt connected to them in certain ways, but at the end of the day, I just didn't immerse myself in it, and it didn't click. So, it's not that I don't love this book, it's that I don't like this book. I just don't like it. Then we have A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. I didn't hate this book. I liked it. I'm going to read the 3rd book that's coming out. I've pre-ordered it already. I do like this book. I found it to be a very different experience, though, from the original Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. I felt that the connection I had to these characters was just not as strong and not as deep. I felt really unsure of the relationship I had with these characters and a little bit perturbed by some of the characters, and I just didn't feel it was as immersive as the original book. So I liked it alright. If I was going to rate it separately from, well, I did rate it separately. I gave it 3 stars, I think. Which is a good rating, but it wasn't like my favorite. I will keep it on my shelf because I want to keep the whole series, unless of course the 3rd one disappoints me. If the 3rd one disappoints me, then I think I'll probably get rid of book 2 and 3, but if the 3rd one makes me happy, then I'll keep all of it, and I'll be happy with that. Then we have an essay collection, which is How to Write an Autobiographical Novel. This is by Alexander Chee. I picked this up right after I read, I don't want to call it Night Circus, that's not right. There is no list of all of his books. Oh well. Queen of the Night, maybe? I don't know. So I went and saw Alexander speak, and I want to do a video talking about this book on my own when I have time. It's not high on my priority list, but it's going to happen because I have footage of Alexander talking about this book, so I want to make a separate video on it. I liked it. I did. I just didn't love it. I thought I was going to love it. I loved a lot of it, but I didn't love all of it. So there's that. Then I got into a short story kick with another nonfiction mixed in, but I did 3 short story collections this month. This is the first one. This is Florida by Lauren Groff. I was lucky enough to see Lauren speak, and I got to hear her talk about her experience with Florida and what she was trying to get across. And I felt this sort of disconnect and loss of connection with Florida, and I thought that that was my misunderstanding and that I was missing something, and I think that she meant to do that. I think that she really meant to allow you to feel this loss and pain and disconnect, and it was really well done and really well executed, and I think that it was all based around the idea and memory and feeling of Florida more so than the state itself. It was mostly the state of the state. So I enjoyed it quite a bit and immensely enjoyed it more so after I'd heard her speak. I would recommend this. I found a lot of things that Lauren said really interesting and really wonderful. I did not film her interview just because I've discovered that what happens when I do film interviews or speeches from authors, it doesn't really get a lot of love on the internet, and that's a lot of work that I do when I do that. So if you guys like seeing those, then let me know, but I'm not gonna separate myself from the moment if it doesn't work for you guys, if that makes sense. I've been just enjoying watching these talks without putting myself inside of it. It's just been, without taking myself outside of the moment, it's been really, really nice. So I'll do it for you guys if you want me to, but I haven't been doing it just because it separates me from the moment a little bit, and I wish it didn't. Then the nonfiction I read with Amanda Center. I will link her channel up above in the cards. This is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings by Maya Angelou. I thought this was a really interesting conversation about race, motherhood, family, relationships, interpersonal relationships, internal relationships, love, loss, and sexuality. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really great classic, and I think it has a lot of merit, and it's a great piece of literature, and I don't think it's just a great piece of Black literature. I think it's a great piece of literature in and of itself. Which I think is what Amanda came to the conclusion of as well. I really enjoyed this. I definitely recommend it, and I would say that for anyone who hasn't read it and they're thinking of reading it, it's a great book to pick up. It definitely helped me in a moment of grief because I read it after my kitty died, which was still really hard. Yeah, that was really hard. I'm still not over it. And I don't expect to be over it for a while. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm not past it. But this was good to read during the grieving process, so I appreciated it. Then this one, okay, I'm very upset about this. This got caught in the rain. I was walking to the bus, and I got caught in the rain, and this got wet, and I'm sad about it, because now it's water damaged. This is Farewell Navigator Stories by Lenny Zumas. I love this. This is Lenny Zumas, who wrote Red Queen. No, not Red Queens. That is a YA that I have never read. I don't even know why that came into my brain. Red Clocks. I just really, really like all of Lenny Zumas's pieces. I think that she is a wonderful writer. I will buy anything she writes. This short story collection has a lot of themes that are in Red Clocks, so feminism and deeper interpersonal relationships and love and loss and feelings of fitting in and finding your space and finding your place. It really worked for me, and I really enjoyed it, but I definitely would recommend this if you're a Lenny Zumas fan. If you're not a Lenny Zumas fan already, I wouldn't track this down because it's definitely one of her more early works, and so it's written a little bit more hectically than Red Clocks is. It's more like The Listeners is, and that's a little more experimental. So I would say if you're not sure about her as an author, this is not for you. But if you already love her as an author, I would pick this up as another piece of the puzzle. And then my favorite book of the, not of the month, but, well, yeah, my favorite book of the month so far. I have another one that I'm reading that I think might outdo it, but this is Shirley Jackson, The Lottery and Other Stories. I I love this short story collection. It was graphic and gritty and grimy and dark and horrific and wonderful, and I loved it. I think it's fabulous, and I really, really like the story The Lottery. I think The Lottery is my all-time favorite short story, which is a dark thing to say. Probably I should work on that. But I think it really is. And I think that for me, The Lottery stems to a deeper faction of the world that I've seen that type of behavior. It's never been so outright or blatantly stated. But I have seen a town witch hunt and decide on the downfall of one group of people, and watching that family trickle into nothingness and have to leave a town. It's a dark piece of American society, and maybe it's a worldwide thing. I've seen it in a small town in which I grew up, and it is scary and dark and twisted, and she really captures that. So I really enjoyed it. So those are the 7 books that I've read so far this month that are not rereads. The rereads I will talk about later and why I'm rereading so much. But yes, I'm sorry this video is so late this week. My mom got hip replacement surgery, and I have not had time to do anything. And it's been really crazy. She's okay. Everything went really well. She's just been very dependent, which is fine, and I am totally on board with that. I really, really want her to be as dependent as she needs to be, because she's my mom and I love her. It's just making me very tired, and I'm very low right now. My depression is really bad, so that on top of having to take care of her has just been a lack of spoons. And for those of you who don't know what spoons means, go ahead and read Furiously Happy. You won't regret it. Alright, so that is everything. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below. And if you have any questions, comments, or quandaries, go ahead and link them in the comments. I will talk to you soon. Bye.